So in this video, we're going to create the slider, which, have a look on the original, is a sliding component. And this will hit the micro switches on the inside of the unit. And it also has the bearing, which sits inside of this V-groove, which pushes or returns this back to center. There'll be two arms which join to that. So when this rocker arm pivots, it's pulling this forwards and backwards, this slider. So this is the part we're going to make next. So we're going to need to create a sketch. It's going to be on this plane here, down the middle. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit P on the keyboard. You can also use project, so that's the shortcut, P. Use it very, very regularly, so that keyboard shortcut's pretty handy, and OK. So that'll just give us a purple point right here, and that's what we're going to use as our reference to the rest of this slider. So one of the more tricky sort of sketches in this project, I'm just going to create one in line with that at 3 millimeters. So a circle 3 millimeters away from, 3 millimeters diameter, and we'll use a dimension to say that it is 33 mil from there. We're still blue because we want to make sure horizontal, vertical, we are in line with that one. So once that one's blacked out, we know that's locked in place. So we're going to draw a line just underneath it. Hit escape. So some dimensions for this. D on the keyboard, that brings up our dimension, as I said. From the circle down to the line will be 10 millimeter diameter, 10 millimeters. And from the end of that line to the center of that circle is also going to be 10 millimeters. And then from that point to the end of the line will be 32.5 millimeters. Now we're going to mirror this design, so we're only going to draw half of it. We'll mirror the design across, so it'll save us a bit of time. We'll draw upwards here from the end of that line, 13 mil. And I'm drawing another line on top of that one. We're going to draw a construction line this time, and it is going to be 14 mil. So this is the start of the V, or the bottom of the V just here. Turn off construction for the moment. So from the top of this one, we're going to come across 16. Some of these dimensions might be a little bit confusing at this point in time, so maybe just bump them around just so they don't get sort of in your way if they're sort of confused about what's a line and what's a dimension. So everything should be black at this stage. If it's not, you might need to pop on a horizontal vertical constraint just to lock something in place. Right, line, we're going to go down from that end, 7.4 millimeters. And from there, we're just going to join the dots back to that point. So that's our V groove sort of opening there. I'm going to draw a line up 6 millimeters. And line, so L on the keyboard, just going to drop one in over here. And hit escape. Now from this edge here to the end of that line, so dimension, that edge to that edge is going to be 8.5 millimeters. Line again, L, upwards 6 mil. So this will be the striker here for the micro switch. And we've got some obscure numbers here for the rest of it. So just going to put a line on an angle back this way. Now this one will be, end of this line will be in line with the circle. And the angle of this line, hit D, angle on here, it will be 68.9. I don't know why it's that number, but that's what it is. So from here, I'm just going to move these out of the way so it's hopefully a little bit more easy for you to see. We just need a line joining these two together, so L down to there. Now when you do that, it should go this light blue color. So it should be a solid thing, a closed loop, which is extrudable. This is obviously only half the design, so we're going to mirror all this across the other side. Now you can do this in 3D or you can do this in 2D. So the mirror feature is here under Create, Mirror, it's this one here. There's no right or wrong, I guess. So you can choose the objects you want to mirror. You could just drag and select everything. I'm just going to individually select things I want to mirror. I'm not going to bother with these two internal ones. So all those lines. The mirror line is going to be this central one. Should mirror the whole thing up. This top and bottom line here, we can control, click on both of those and just turn them into construction lines as well. So it should just be one shape like this in the middle. Cool. We can finish sketch. Spin it around. We're going to do an extrusion. This face. And we're going to do a symmetrical whole length. Really importantly, select whole length, and the distance is going to be 3 mil because that's the acrylic. This is going to be made out of laser cut acrylic, so we'll need to, and that's 3 millimeters in thickness, so 3 mil. Okay. Last thing I'm going to do is add a fillet in the bottom here, down the bottom here. 4 millimeters will do, and that's just so the bottom edges of the slider don't bite into the surface it's sliding on. It just will want to slide off of. So okay. At this point in time, if you want to add some colors to your design, that's probably reasonable. Body 3 will rename slider, and hit A on the keyboard. You can repaint these elements. Now, you might want to make this black. I would refrain from making anything black just because it's harder to work with until later on. So we've got plenty of options for materials. I'm going to put something which is going to be maybe translucent, maybe a transparent red onto my slider. This will be 3D printed, so that won't be transparent, but we can add some materials across onto here now. I'll just put a white on that one for the moment. But you can do whatever colors you like for this design. We will have limited range of colors for the, obviously for the 3D printing, slightly wider range of colors for our laser cutting, but your model doesn't necessarily have to look exactly how it's going to come out at the end. So we should have arm right, arm left, and a slider so far in our model.